Hello and welcome back to another episode of Math with Son. Today we're going to continue solving for angles within triangles. It's finishing up the other video that we just did, but this time we are going to be doing the problems that have to solve an equation. All right. Now, hopefully you remember that all triangles, every single one of them, add to 180 degrees. So in this case, we would have 55 with the 54 with the x plus 74 adding all together to equal 180. So you have to combine all the like terms. If we combine the 55, the 54, and the 74, you get 183. So that means that we have x plus 183 is equal to 180. And then when we subtract the 183 over, you get x is equal to negative 3, which is okay in some situations. It's normally a red flag for geometry. But if you plug in negative 3, and 74 makes positive 71, so it's still okay. All right? So, next problem, same thing. We would have the 8x plus 2 and the 70 and the 60 all have to add to equal 180. So we combine all like terms. 70 and 160 makes 130. 130 and 2 makes 132. So we have 132 is equal to 180 with that 8x. Subtract the 132 over. 180, take away 132, ends up being 48. So if 8x is equal to 48, when we divide by 8, you get the x is equal to 6. Oh, there. And then we get the little bit harder problems. So both of these problems can be done in a few different ways. Number 19 could be done by first realizing what this missing angle is. And then once you know that that missing angle is, then you could be like, well, this circle and that 97 plus x would add together to make 180 because it's a straight line. Now, hopefully you start to recognize that this is an exterior angle theorem problem where you can add up the two inside parts and it will equal the outside part of that third missing angle. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 64 plus 27 must add to equal 97 plus x. Not the only way to do it, but it is a unique little problem for that. 64 and 27 makes 91 would equal 97 plus x. And when we subtract 97 from 91, you get x is equal to negative 6. All right, no problem there. What about number 20? Well, on number 20, you have vertical angles. We got 80 here. That must mean it's going to be 80 there. We got 60 here. That must mean it's going to be 60 there. All three angles of the triangle must add to equal 180. So we would have 80 and 60 and the x plus 51. They would all add together to make 180. We combine like terms 80 and 60 and 51 all add together. These three guys add together to make 191. So x plus 191 would equal 180. Subtract, and we get as x is equal to negative 11. The next few problems that we have are going to be almost the same thing, but instead of solving for x, then you have to plug it back in to figure out what the angle A would be equal to. So we have to do the same idea. We have to add all three angles up together. All three of them to equal 180. Combine like terms. In this case, x plus x makes 2x. 84, 59, and 51. 84 plus 59 and plus 51 ends up being 194 will equal 180. Subtract the 194 over. 194 taken away from 180 ends up being negative 14, which means x is equal to negative 7, not the final answer. Remember that the final answer this time is the measure of angle A. And if we plug in the negative 7 for that, we'd have negative 7 plus 51, and that ends up making angle A equal to 44 degrees. All right, let's do another one real quick. We got these two angles that are there, and then we have this third angle. Hopefully you know that a box indicates that it is a 90-degree angle, which means that the other two angles must also add to 90, if you want to do it that way, or all three will add to 180. But I do want to prove that if you have a 90-degree angle, that means that the other two have to add to 90. So if I subtract this 90 first rather than combining like terms, I would have the other two angles, x plus 37 and x plus 67, would equal 90. So that does prove that these two combined at least are complementary or add to 90. Combine like terms, x and x makes 2x. 37 and 67 ends up being 104 will equal 180. Not 180, 90. We already proved they are 90. Subtract the 104 from 90, you end up with 2x is equal to negative 14, and x is equal to, yet again, negative 7. This is kind of a coincidental thing here. We're still asked to find angle A. Well, angle A is x plus 37, so negative 7 plus 37 means that angle A is equal to 30 degrees. All right. Two more quick ones for you. Probably one of my favorite ones here. We got 8x plus 4. That would be a vertical angle here, so this inside angle is also 8x plus 4. And then from here, you have a few options. You could maybe recognize that these two are interior and this is an exterior. These two interiors will add to 130, but let's say you don't see that. We got 130 here. This is a straight line. That must mean that 50 is on the other side. And then we can add all the angles up on the inside of the triangle, not the outside. 8x plus 4 to equal 180. Combine like terms. We got 3x, we got 8x, that's 11x. We got negative 6 with 4 is negative 2, and 50 ends up being 48. But you can type that in your calculator. Equals 180. All right. Move the 48 over. You get 11x is equal to 132. Divide the 132 by 11, you get x is equal to 12. Again, make sure that you're finding angle A, not just x. Angle A is over here, so that would be 3 times what x is, 3 times x minus 6. So that would be 3 times 12 minus 6 ends up being a measure for angle A of 30 degrees. The very last problem. A vertical angle can be filled in here for that 4x plus 17. They are right across from each other. Now you have 1, 2, 3 sides of the, not sides, 3 angles on the inside of this triangle. So then they can be combined. When we combine them, we have to equal them to 180. All of the interiors add to 180. X and 4x makes 5x. 23 and 17 and 80 makes a number. 23 plus 17 plus 80 ends up being 120 equals 180. Move the 120 over. You get 5x is equal to 60. And then when we divide, you get x is equal to 12. Kind of a theme. Plug in that 12 for angle A. Angle A is up here, so measure of angle A in this case would equal 12 plus 23, which is measure of angle A, 35 degrees. That's going to do it for this one, everybody. Until next time, stay positive, my friends, and I will see y'all later. Bye.